Hi everyone, welcome back. And if you're finding me for the first time, because I know that searching on YouTube for makeup declutter videos is a fun pastime, if you will, welcome. My name is Mercedes. I've been on YouTube since 2014 in the eco beauty, blogging, and alternative health and wellness space. I proclaimed that 2022 was going to be a year of makeup exploration or a re-interest in makeup for me because skincare is so boring to me right now. I don't know if it'll always be that way, but I use so few products in my skincare routine that I've really returned to makeup as my source of beauty inspiration. So along with investing in and trying new makeup that catches my eye, what comes with that is also staying abreast of not letting things get too cluttered. And my makeup collection had definitely gotten way too cluttered. And some months ago now, I had intended to do a makeup empties. This is actually including things that I decluttered today, but you can see it says makeup empties declutter. I think I did this before we relocated from Chicago to Kentucky at the end of October 2021. And I had gone live on Instagram to try and cover this, and I ended up just answering questions most of the time for that live, and so I never got around to it. So before I was able to cover this, I felt like I also needed to do another round of decluttering, and I did get rid of quite a few things today. So this sort of serves as a complete makeup collection for me. This is everything I own. It's a declutter, it's a reorganization, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. My orientation is primarily towards eco-organic, green, clean, such a regrettable word to describe the types of products that a lot of us are interested in. That is my primary orientation. As you'll see in the video, there are some deviations from that, namely NARS is I have a few NARS things that are a bit of an Achilles heel for me, and then just odd bits here and there, a little Lisa Eldridge, a little Laura Mercier, but primarily the bulk of my collection are eco, organic, holistic, natural, alternative brands. For my patrons on the L'Amour et la Musique Patreon site, I'm going to be doing some bonus content to accompany this video. So if you get to the end of it and you find yourself wanting more, even though it's probably going to be like an hour long, I'm going to be going through all of my makeup brushes and doing a brush declutter on video as a Patreon bonus, and I am going to be going through all of the old makeup empties that I was not able to cover prior to doing this declutter. You can find that all at patreon.com/L'Amour et la Musique. You can come connect with me on Instagram at L'Amour et la Musique. I also have a private Instagram account for patrons where I talk about all of the unmentionable things that are distinct from beauty that I just learned are much better suited to an intimate community. Please enjoy this makeup collection and declutter. All right, this is the full overview of everything. All the makeup that I own is here. These are palettes here stacked, you can see. This is just a loose mineral powder. These are some powders, compacts, loose shadows that I'm waiting for a palette to do something with. This is an eye product makeup bag for the most part. Kind of a catch-all here. It's lips, it's some other lingering palette types of things. And then this is my everyday makeup bag. I have some other eye palettes here, a couple of loose bottles, and then my makeup brushes. I like to organize my makeup via the Wendy Rowe approach that I saw on a Sally Hughes in the bathroom interview from years ago. She organizes her makeup all in makeup bags. This has always been more appealing to me than plastic or acrylic drawer type of storage or Muji drawers or any number of other organizational strategies that I have seen YouTubers and beauty bloggers employ over the years. I've never had anything like that really. And I've just been organizing my makeup like this for years now in different makeup bags and kind of laid out in this tray. And I'm quite happy with that. Let's start with this collection of palettes. This is a Natasha Denona, I forget what she calls these. just mini palettes. This is the Mini Crush palette. I got this for Valentine's Day. They're somewhere in the $20 to $25 range, and I really enjoy this color story. The quality of the shadows is really beautiful. So this is a new addition, definitely keeping that. This is also a very new addition, my small salt palette. I did a video unboxing each of these pans and filling this little palette, so you can go see that if you want to see these a little bit more in depth and swatched. I am planning a purchase for a large palette, and I'm going to get some artist adjusters and a few other pans of product, so that's going to be forthcoming, but I do love this small one a lot. This is the complete set of the Axiology Lip to Lid Balmies. I got these last summer. This was actually a recommendation that came through from someone on Patreon. Erin, she gives me so many wonderful makeup recommendations. And I've really enjoyed using this set. They've stayed good for over a year now, which is saying a lot for eco makeup, especially that's a cream. And I get a lot of use out of this, honestly. You can see I've used this peach shade a lot. I use this gold shade on my eyes a lot. Actually, this isn't peach. This is clementine, I think it's called. This is peach. And I use this watermelon shade a lot. So I'm definitely hanging on to these for now. I think they can probably make it another 6, 8, maybe even 12 months. They are going to have to go probably by next summer. But until then, I'm enjoying. This is the NARS Extreme Effects palette. I got this, not this most recent holiday season, but the holiday season before. It was on discount. Again, you can see, really attracted to this kind of color story, even though they're not the best colors on me, to be honest. So I do like this palette. Some of the shades can double as blushes, which is really fun. The thing that I'll say, even though I love the color story and it's fun to play with, is the quality of the NARS eyeshadows is, I'm always sort of wanting to like it and then always feeling a little bit let down by it. I had done a purple smoky look using this and this and this on a recent Patreon live stream, and it looked absolutely stunning. And then I proceeded to have insane fallout and transfer, and the shadows just really do not stay put very well. There's a lot of fallout, but I'm going to hang on to it for now. I would say maybe in the next declutter, although, you know, NARS shadows stay good for a long time, so I don't think there's really any harm in holding on to it. But just in terms of how much use I get out of it, there's definitely shadow formulas that I like more than this. This is probably the oldest eyeshadow palette that I have. In fact, I know it is. This is Viseart Cool Mattes. I've had it maybe 5 years or so. They're still fine, so absolutely no reason to get rid of it as far as I can tell. I love this. I wish I could get more use out of it, but this is a nice blush shade, this cobalt blue, amazing. This trio of neutrals is probably what I get the most use out of, and then I like to do a smudgy liner with that kind of eggplanty aubergine color. This is my first Viseart, and I still think it's a stunner. Now this is Aether Joshua Tree, and I'm so torn on this. I think what I really ought to do is probably rip it apart and depot, or, you know, take some of the shadows out that I like. I do like this mustard color. It looks really nice in the wintertime with wearing black. I like this and this and this. Some of the shades, I have to say, were quite a letdown. I was really excited about this cornflower blue, and it just looks completely different on than in the pan. So I get use out of maybe 3 or 4 of these shades. I never really reach for these, but I do think the color story is gorgeous. From my previous declutter, I had also decided I was maybe done with the rose quartz. I think both of these have since been discontinued, so you could argue that I should hold on to them, but I think I'm probably going to set both of these aside out of my main collection, and I'm going to figure out a way to depot or depackage the shadows and put them in a salt palette or something. So setting these aside. And then this is the Saga Mineral Foundation. This is one of the Nordic Natural Beauty Awards winners. That's a group that's a international eco beauty awards project that I got linked up with a couple of years ago. I tested all of, I think, the 2019 or 2020 award winners, and then I think this was a 2021 winner. And so I've been testing the most recent round of winning products, and the color of this is too dark for me. And then the other reason I'm going to be setting it aside for like a product crit or something, or, you know, if I end up reviewing all of those products in one place. The ingredients are mica, titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, iron oxides, kaolin clay, and lazurite. I've been researching a bit and seeing that titanium dioxide is maybe not the best ingredient to be used as a sun blocker, physical sun blocker. Most of them now use zinc oxide, physical blockers in dedicated SPF products or makeup, but I'll put a link down below to an article that I read by a Canadian company called Haute Cosmetics that, you know, makes titanium and mica free makeup, if any of you are interested in that. So this is a no for me, but I did try it once. My skin is actually able to tolerate a mineral foundation lately, which is kind of huge for me. All right, you can see I have a lot of Gressa. They're all eye tints, except this is actually a lip boost, so shouldn't really be in there. This should actually probably be in everyday makeup bag. This is the Gressa Lip Boost in Lilith. I got this instead of Bare kind of recently, and I do really like it. In fact, one of my favorite ways to use it is with, let's see, the eye tint in Roasted, which is quite cool. It's a sort of a cool toned matte gray. So mixing Roasted with Lilith on the eyes is one of my favorite everyday eye looks, which is, I guess, why I do keep it in my eye bag. And then the other ones I have are Butter Rum, most recent purchase and probably my favorite Gressa makeup product of all time. And then I have Obscure and M&A Suit. These are from last year. M&A Suit and Obscure. I do love both. Their M&A Suit, again, mixed with Roasted on the eyes is really nice. Obscure is probably my favorite under eye smudged out color of all time. It's so, so, so good. So I'm hanging on to both of these. I have not noticed the quality declining at all. I've had lip boosts and eye tints from Gressa before, and they last a good 3 to 4 years in my experience. And then Butter Rum, most recent purchase. I'm so glad I went for it. It's just an absolute dream of a product. Someone like me with light olive undertones could wear something like this, but it's definitely going to be a best of beauty product for me this year. And I could do like a whole video ode to this one. I have a couple of KRY shadows in their compact packaging. Onyx is one, must be this one. So Onyx and, oh, this is not, I don't think this is Charmed. I think this is a different shade, and I truthfully don't know which one that is. I really love these. I think that it's a bummer that it got chipped like that, but this is such a pretty all over the lid shade on me. Just a very neutral sculpted mid. It's not too cool, it's not too warm. I love it. Onyx is really nice over a bit of black pencil smudged out. Definitely holding on to both of these, although I would consider depotting the little pans of product into assault palettes just for ease of use. This is a Saint Cosmetics single eyeshadow in the shade Wild Thing. I love this. You can see it's pretty similar to the tonality of the Viseart Cool Mattes, but this is, again, I could do a whole video on my favorite neutral, minimal, sculpted eye looks, and this would be on it. This I discovered through doing my Indie Beauty Expo 2019 award winners. It's one of the only products I ended up liking, and I tried a shimmer formula from Saint Cosmetics, which I think is a Canadian company, and it's in like a disappointing products, or it may have even be in this bag of previous makeup empties and declutter. I can't remember. But yeah, the matte Saint Cosmetics shadow is really good. The shimmers, not so much, or at least the shade I had tried. I also got this kind of recently, this Hourglass Scattered Light shadows are what these are called. What's the name of this one? Smoke. They have nice descriptions of the 7 or 8 shades of these that they do. And I really think this is a beautiful texture and effect to the lids. It's just a little bit more gold than I was hoping. I really wanted something that was a little bit more taupe. And it didn't really, so the color is maybe not exactly what I was expecting, but I do think the formula is beautiful. I bought this because of a makeup declutter video that I watched and got really inspired by, done by a former Hourglass makeup artist. And so I went on to order a couple of Hourglass things after I saw her video. I'll put her video, I think her name is Naja. I'll put a link to her video in the description bar below. So this should not be in an eye bag, but this is Gressa Lumiere. It's like a oil with pigment is suspended in it. I've tried these before more in a tint. This is the shade Layla, which is really a highlight shade. So shouldn't be in an eye bag. This should really probably be in my everyday makeup bag. I find it a little difficult to use. You know, I did end up having some issues with the Gressa liquid highlight and the liquid bronzer. I just found them a little bit difficult to use. And this one, Svetlana has told me that you do have to shake it really vigorously because the size of the particles in this one is a little bit bigger than other Lumieres, and so they have a tendency to settle. But it is beautiful. It's a very pearlescent type of shade, and you have to want that glossy look on your face for it. Now here's where we can do some decluttering. These 100% are coming out. The Ilia, I forget which one this is, Fullest Volume Mascara and the Aether Big Bang. The Ilia went off within probably 6, no more than 8 months. It took on the most disgusting smell. I don't know if any of you have kept one of these around long enough, but it just smells worse than any mascara going off that I feel like I've probably ever smelled. Never really cared for the formula all that much, or the wand. It just didn't do it for me. I found this to be very overhyped and not good for my lashes, so that's definitely going away. And then the Aether Big Bang I tried pretty recently. I had a decent first impression of this. It gives a nice effect to the lashes. It doesn't transfer or flake at all, but the real kicker with this is how insanely difficult it is to remove. And that's really why I stopped using it. I found that it was destroying my lashes. It was so difficult to remove. Even with an oil, it just adheres to the lashes in a really crazy way that I did not like at all. I hated removing it. I felt like it was honestly damaging my lashes. And I had used this for about a month or even a month and a half before I finally said no more. So I would not recommend either one of these personally. However, I know mascara is so personal. Okay, these are all actually declutters. Wow, look at this. This is all going to go away. Kira Weiss eye pencil in brown. It's just old, and I have other eye pencils that you'll see in my everyday makeup bag that I totally fulfill this purpose. However, I do like the Kira Weiss eye and lip pencil formula, so it's really just old. That's why I'm getting rid of it. Same with this. Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil, obviously not eco at all. I used to wear this a lot in the summertime on the lower lash line for just a fun party or DJing look. And that's not my lifestyle anymore, and it's just very old. However, I love a cobalt blue liner, and this is a good one. Ilia liquid liner pen. I know people like this. I don't know. I just find so much Ilia makeup to be so blah to me. I guess it's kind of solid. It can kind of get the job done. I know people really like a lot of their face and base products. And some of it I have liked too in the past, like the True Skin Serum Foundation and Concealer. I think it's definitely a makeup brand more for women in their 20s and 30s. I think getting into, well, I don't know, they have like a whole multi-age campaign. So maybe I just don't love the brand. There's just things that I like better. This is fine, I guess. I think it transfers and smudges. It's not as indelible as my former love, the Surratt Autographique. However, I'm on a quest, probably for the rest of my life, to find something as good as the former Surratt Autographique. If you are using that and love it, it's probable that you have an old generation pen. I have tried multiple new ones from Surratt and I've never been able to get it to perform the way my one from 2016, 2017, 2018 did. I ruined it by trying to wash the brush tip, but inevitably you're going to have to throw it away because I think it's unsanitary to use the same eyeliner pen for years on end. I mean, it's by your eyes. It just doesn't seem great. So this is a miss for me. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. And then again, just old Bare Minerals Primetime Eyelid Primer. I never wear an eyelid primer anymore, ever. But I do think this is a decent one. I know Ilia does one, and I think Alima Pure also does one. You can see I didn't use it very much, but if I was going to be doing an elaborate eye look or something pseudo smoky or outside of my normal minimal eye makeup look, I would reach for that sometimes. But those are all going away. This I will hold on to, despite my ambivalence about NARS eyeshadows. This is the Duo in the shade Cordura. I had wanted this for years after a NARS makeup artist used it on me doing my makeup for a wedding I was attending in 2012, a long time ago. And this is a more recent purchase. I've had this maybe 3 or 4 years. And they're nice mixed together all over the lid. They're nice this just over the lid with this deepened up in the creaser as a liner. So I am going to hold on to it. Okay, so like I said, kind of a catch-all makeup bag. This is actually all the lipstick I own, if you can believe it. I used to be so much more of a lipstick hoarder, and this is all I've got left. I guess I do have kind of a liquid lipstick and some other lip crayons and whatnot. So I guess this is all lips here. This is the Gressa Minimalist Contouring Serum. It's a bronzer. I just find it difficult to work with. I did like it, but I do not have the time or the patience to work with it. It's so pigmented, so I am going to be decluttering this, putting it into a product crit to talk about. I really wanted to get it to work, but I just find it too challenging and too time consuming. Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage, you know, if I had filmed this video, I have this in SC too, if I had filmed this video even a couple of weeks ago, I may have considered decluttering this because I virtually never reach for it. However, on my last live Get Ready With Me, I did dip into it because I've had this weird skin inflammation, not really like a pimple, it's just like a weird thing on the side of my nose where my glasses sit when I wear glasses. And so I used this to cover it up and it did a fantastic job. It smells fine. I've had it a number of years, but apparently Secret Camouflage in this packaging has been discontinued, and now Laura Mercier does a Secret Camouflage product in a pen. Obviously, I can't imagine it's the same as this, which has just been such a gold standard product for beauty enthusiasts for so many years. So I'm going to hold on to that. This may be against, popular opinion. I'm getting rid of this because I just never really liked it that much. It's the Rowan Beauty Cool 52 palette. I've had this a good couple years. I got it right when Rowan was becoming popular and was a very sort of it brand. And at the time they only had 2 palettes, the Warm and the Cool. I got the most use out of this shade, and then maybe the second the most use out of the brownie shade. Never used these that much at all. I have tried to use the purple. I don't like it. I don't like the texture of these. I don't really think the appearance on the eyes is that great. I know I'm unpopular probably in that opinion. They've since come on to do a number of other palettes. I had tried other Rowan products too, like the brow product I found underwhelming. I don't know, just not for me. So this is definitely a declutter. Okay, this is a very new addition to my collection and I absolutely love it. And it will not be going anywhere. It's the official name? The Vapor Bronzing Powder in Eclipse. I think they only do this in one shade, if I'm not mistaken. But I adore it. I apply it with the largest Surratt face brush for a very sheer application. It is so beautiful. I use it all the time on my live Get Ready With Me's. And I just think it's stunning. It is slightly orange, but for me, it's right on the border of giving me a nice effect without veering too warm or too orange, depending on I think you have to do a pretty sheer application. It does have a bit of a weird cinnamon red hot smell, but I don't know. I love the slimness of the packaging. This would definitely go in, an ultra minimal capsule luxe makeup bag, which is a follow-on video I'm planning on doing. Okay, then I have two Kosas palettes, Contra Chroma, which I think might be discontinued, and Velvet Melon, which was a gift from a friend. And I honestly don't reach for these that much. Contra Chroma is powder and Velvet Melon is cream. Oh my gosh, it looks like it's maybe growing some spores. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I'm going to set it aside for now. Contra Chroma, I don't know. Kind of smells a little funky. However, I don't have really any powder blushes. The only thing I really use are some eyeshadows that can double as cheek products. So I'm going to set this aside. It is about 5 or 6 years old and it is starting to smell kind of funky, but this was always a very nice shade on me, I have to say. This was a Beauty Heroes PR sample. It's the Talk Beauty eyelash curler. It's on this kind of weird spring mechanism, so yeah. Eyelash curlers are going to be so individual depending on eye shape. I've used the Surratt Releve eyelash curler for years and years. It's for very, I guess, almond-shaped eyes. If you have slightly smaller, more round eyes and less elongated almond-shaped eyes, I would say that this could be a good option. I did use it a couple times on my lives because what it's really good at is curling the upper quadrant of your lashes, whereas the Surratt Releve, for me and my eye shape anyway, I can really get to the base of my lashes and get a curl from the base, and then this kind of gives a curl on the upper part of the lashes. So if I had the time and I wanted to be so extra, I would do a double eyelash curl and get like the lashes the dreams are made of, but I just don't have time. I don't know if I should hang on to this or not. I think I'm going to set it aside for now and think about it. Okay, I'm going to have some unpopular opinions coming up here, so why don't we just get it out of the way? I really wish I liked Lisa Eldridge lipsticks more than I do. I have Skyscraper Rose and Velvet Jazz. And of these, I think I am going to continue holding on to Skyscraper Rose, but I think I'm going to declutter Velvet Jazz. I was just so excited about this, and I found it extremely difficult to work with. The thing that I think Lisa Eldridge has excelled at, and to no one's surprise, would be the undertones, right? And the color and the depth of the color and all of that, the artistry behind the colors. But the actual formula, and this is I forget, the Insanely Saturated lip color, that might be that. And this is like some sort of matte formula, Velvet Matte maybe. And whatever formula Velvet Jazz is, I just honestly was disappointed in it. I've had these right when they launched is when I ordered these. So they're also getting to be, on the older end. Velvet Jazz, I am going to declutter, but I do still reach for this. I don't have NARS Shop anymore, which would be a comparable color. It's a little bit more pink, and I find Skyscraper Rose to be, I don't know. This video would be too long if I were to swatch and do all of that, but maybe I'll do like a lipstick collection swatch video at some point. So we're going to hold on to that. This is also a declutter. I have used this a couple times recently it's Rodan Billy on the Bike. You can see I used quite a bit of it for a lipstick. I've just had it for a long time, and I feel like I kind of get a similar effect with Salt New York Blackberry. They're very similar. And I, at one point, had the lip liner, Billy on the Bike lip liner, which I got rid of a long time ago. I never liked the lip liner. It was way, way, way too dry. This, I don't even know if she still does these, the Rodan lipsticks. It was a small collection. This is also a set aside declutter. This is from the Nordic Natural Beauty Awards. It's the brand Havu Cosmetics. So I got to try this again as part of like a full PR set of Nordic Natural Beauty Award winners. And this is the shade Rose. I truly loved it. It honestly may be the most perfect colored nude of all time for me. I'd like to order another one. It did have a shelf life of about a year. I noticed right at about a year, it definitely got the plastic smell. Kind of, it reminds me of that brand Nude, if any of you remember them, but such an incredible formula. The tone of Rose in particular was just so stunning. I was freaking out the first time I used this on a live Get Ready With Me. And a lot of the women went on to place orders with this brand just because the formula and the color and everything was so outstanding. So I would highly, highly recommend checking out this brand. I do believe they ship to the US. The packaging, as you can see, is a bit clunky, but I mean, this color Rose is just, I need to buy another one. Honestly, it was so, so, so good. This is not supposed to be in here. I don't know how that happened. This is a Natasha Denona Macro Blade Liquid Liner. I bought this when I bought the eyeshadow palette during Valentine's Day. And again, just looking for something to give me that beautiful jet black indelible liquid line. This is good. It's honestly almost too intense. If I'm going to be filming and, or, you know, I don't really go out at all anymore or need to have a really stay put liquid line, but if I did, this would be a good option. But I just found it to be really intense for just an everyday look for my lifestyle now. So you'll see in my everyday makeup bag the ones that I've been trying. But this is, I think, a good option. It's just very, very, very intense. I have a remaining Spella liquid lipstick. Yeah, it smells bad, so we're gonna have to pass it on, but I absolutely love this product. I don't know if the brand still exists, but this is the Spella Matte Liquid Lipstick, I think. What's the official name of these? The Paint and Play Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Jet Set. I got so much use out of this. Very unique color. It's almost like a rosewood color. And if this brand is still around and they're still making these, I would highly recommend, you know, I'm going to pick another one up if I can get my hands on one. I also had the shade Tinder, which was too orange for me. Now the formula is not, like, it does wear off, but it wears off in a way that is not super unflattering. So I wore this a ton, like 2-3 years ago. I was wearing it all the time, but it definitely has gone off. So I'm going to give it away. And then I have 2 Bite Beauty lip products, and these should really go in my beauty mausoleum because, well, not even. I actually used Quince earlier this week and it's still perfectly good. This is the only product in my history, in my beauty, well, that's not true because I have repurchased NARS Dolce Vita in the past before I got into Eco Beauty, but I went through an entire Quince, Bite Beauty Quince, and I almost feel like it used to be in a different format, but I don't really remember. But I went through an entire one and repurchased. This is just such a pretty bright, you know, bright pinky berry-ish lip color. I am going to hang on to it because, like I said, I just wore it and it still wore really well. I will say these are a little bit messy. It's not great, like if you're going out to eat a meal. It does have a tendency to kind of get everywhere, but it is beautiful. And the pigment is just so, so nice. But it's kind of a moot point because I'm not sure. You can probably still get Bite Beauty on some closeout sales and, you know, third-party retailers and whatnot. And then I still also have Aubergine, which I loved for many years and honestly still smells fine. So I'm going to hold on to it just because I like these. So this would be more of like a spring summer, and this would be, they're different formulas, but this would be more of a fall winter color. And the formula of this one, I forgot the differences. This is the matte cream, lip cream, and these are the high pigment lip pencil, I guess. I just have such fond memories of when Bite Beauty would come out with their holiday sets, and I would do lip swatch videos. I have at least one, maybe two on my channel of this formula of the mini lip crayons like this. So I'll link those below just for old time's sake. These are just some remaining lingering loose things that I'm gonna have to find a place to organize. I recently picked up 2 Viseart mini palettes from Muse Beauty is where I ordered them from. They were having a friends and family sale. This was like last month. So these are very recent additions. This is the Paris Etoile palette. I've been playing around with this on my Get Ready With Me's. It's just so incredible. This is kind of everything, the shadow. It's actually what I'm wearing on my lids today. This is kind of the formula that I really had wanted out of the NARS Extreme Effects palette. I had only ever known Viseart mattes, and they obviously do superior matte formulas, but I'm so impressed with these beautiful other textures that they do. This is like a foil, wet looking shadow. Some shimmers. I think this is also that same, these are the same formula. These are the same formula, and then there's a couple mattes. These are affordable. You know, this is $20-something. Very similar little makeup treat to like the Natasha Denona minis. I think I love that brands do this because it's an affordable way to have some fun with makeup, because no one ever really gets through eyeshadow, right? And then I've been wanting the same way that I have the large Cool Mattes palette. I had forever had the Neutral Mattes palette on my list, and then turns out they came out with a mini. I have not used it yet, but there it is. I mean, what a thing of absolute beauty. I can't even get over it. Bliss. Okay, these are some loose things that are awaiting palettes. I had gotten 5 Salt New York palettes, and obviously the small palette only has room for 4. So this is the Sculpt in Bronze. It's getting really messy. I obviously need a palette for it. But this is the Contour Shade Taupe, and I like it a lot. It's really easy to work with. Cream version of something like the Kevin Aucoin. And that will be going into another salt palette that I'm gonna pick up. And then I have 2 loose Fit Glow multi-use powders, I think these are called. These are a pretty new formula that they do. I went for the shades Soft Brown and Sunkissed, which is peach. You can use these on the eyes, on the cheeks. You can use them like as a blush, as a contour or a bronzer shade. And these are great. I need to reach for them more. And I think once I get a larger palette and I take them out of this temporary packaging and put them in a palette, I'll be able to reach for them a little bit more effortlessly. This is an empty Kjaer Weis foundation palette, but I did just buy a replacement foundation pan. I've used up an entire one, I think, or this is like really gross, but this was from the previous clear out I did. I used almost an entire pan of the foundation in paper thin, and I need to refill this with that. It's just a great foundation. I love that it has organic ingredients. These are the only 2 powders I currently have. The Suntegrity SPF powder, and you can see it's kind of getting that weird texture on it. I think it's just from the interaction of the transfer of oils from your face on the brush. But I like this. It's a zinc oxide powder, and it is pretty mattifying. I don't feel like it gives much of a white cast back. So I've been happy with this. Just the packaging is quite bulky, and I'm not sure it's necessarily something I would repurchase, but I like it enough to keep using it for sure. It's also not cheap. And then as part of that little mini Hourglass haul that I told you about, I went for a full-size ambient lighting powder in Luminous Light. This is more of a fall winter type of powder, and this is more of spring summer when my skin is naturally, you know, a little more dehydrated or dry. I love these. These are powders for people that don't like powder. For years and years, powdering my face was like anathema to me because my skin was so dry, but it's very different now for a host of reasons. I think just getting healthier, going through hormonal changes with pregnancy and postpartum and whatnot, and just minimal skincare, like leaving my skin alone. So my skin is honestly more combination, and I just really don't need to do much, oiling or putting balms on or moisturizing. So I just kind of let my skin be, and I honestly do need to powder when I'm applying dewier makeup products. So, and then I have the Kjaer Weis liquid foundation. I've had this for maybe a year and a half, and you can see I've used about a third of it. I'm going to continue to use it. I was thinking I would maybe declutter this, but it's really good because it's so quick. The Kjaer Weis cream foundation or the Salt New York Sneaky Balm is a little bit, it takes a little bit more time. This I can just do a few drops of and press it into my face, and it's very easy. And it's great coverage, honestly. After this, I think I probably will try the skin tint that they just came out with, but it remains to be seen. I don't know yet. And then this is also a very recent addition. This is the EA Beauté Pure Flush Serum. I've only used this a couple of times. It was just a fun makeup treat to myself. I had been wanting to try it. It's a really pretty watermelon pink serum, essentially. I mean, you can build it up to get that sort of pigment on the cheeks, or you can use a small amount all over your face to just give a bit of a tint. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I like the ingredients a lot. So far, so good. Not getting rid of anything here. This is mostly new stuff. This obviously needs some editing to become a true everyday makeup bag. So I'm gonna have to do some conceptualizing and some organizing, but let's see. Let's start with these two lip products. So this is a Nordic Natural Beauty Awards lip balm that I'm testing. I always need just a everyday lip balm to prep my lips before I do my makeup. I start every live stream by putting something on my lips. And then for that purpose, I also have this little mini Egyptian magic. This is also nice if I'm experiencing any patches of dryness on my face. So these are, I think, just good little makeup bag staples to have. As far as base products, I've been using the Fit Glow Corrector for a couple of years now. I transitioned off of the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer because it just wasn't enough coverage after I had a baby and started becoming chronically sleep deprived. So I like this. I would say the only thing I don't like about it is that it does kick up quite a bit of shine under the eyes. So I find that I don't always like the way that it looks, but the color correcting coverage on this is really good. Like I said, I'm trying some new face products, or I don't know if I said, but I picked up some samples from Haute Beauty, this Canadian company, and they have some brightening products that I'm intending to try. So for now, this has been good. This is my second tube of this. I use it every single day, but I would maybe like to find something that doesn't give that shine under the eyes. It's just not my favorite. Okay, a couple other face products. This is the Well People bronzer stick. I bought this just because I only at the time had the powder bronzer, the Vapor powder bronzer, and I needed something cream. Like I like having a cream bronzer and a powder bronzer. And this is still distinct from the Salt Contour shade in Taupe. And I like this, I go on little Target trips with my kids just to pass time. I know it sounds really basic, but I think a lot of moms do that. And they carry a nice Well People selection. So I've picked up a couple Well People things. They have reformulated a bunch of stuff, added to the line. They're no longer produced in Italy, which is a shame. I think they produce most of their products in China now. But I'm trying a couple things, the bronzing stick, and then this is the liquid liner. They also do an eyeliner pen that I have tried before, or I don't know, they may do another eyeliner that looks similar, I forget. They have two liquid liners in their range. I had never tried this one. It's the Fresh Lines liquid liner, and it's okay. I just wanted a cleaner, everyday version versus the Natasha Denona, which is more of like an intense, kind of scary, don't really want to use it every single day type of product. But you know, the Well People is just, it's not, it does, I do get transfer, I do get smudging, but I have to say I do think I like it a bit better than the Ilia pen. However, this application method is a little bit more advanced. But I had so many years practicing with the Zuzu Luxe that it's okay. It's not a perfect product, but I'm making it work. This is the Vapor Highlight in Moonlight. I think they do several shades of this. And I do like this. I got this at the same time that I got the bronzer. And I think it's great. I have been reaching more for my Salt New York highlighting pan in the color beige. They're very similar, just champagne. I'm really over a pearlescent icy highlight because I had Ritual Defeat Ice Bow for so many years. And so now I'm more kind of on the champagne rose goldy highlight train. I have this little sample of Gressa Fatima Lumiere. I actually don't think I've used it. So I'm going to set it aside. I just don't think it's a color that is going to work for me. To be honest, it looks super, super warm. Okay, I think the only other thing for face and cheeks is I keep this little NARS Orgasm Blush Mini in everyday makeup bag. This was a Sephora VIB perk or something at one point, but I have to say I love having it. Sometimes it just brings me a lot of joy to use. It's pretty dusted lightly over the eyes, across the bridge of the nose, on the cheeks. It's very quick and easy, which is why I like it, and it makes me happy. Brows, I have only 2 products because my quest is over for my favorite brow products, which I think some people might roll their eyes at because this clear brow serum that I have fallen so in love with, if I can get it to focus, the Rye Beauty Clear Brow Serum. It's expensive, it's $42, but I think what people don't realize is it's like it's like a mascara sized tube of product. It's gonna last you 4, 5, 6 months. I'm on like my 4th month of it and I have at least another month. I already bought a backup. I love it. I know people might roll their eyes at it, but I don't think they're considering how much use you get out of it. It's just the best brow product I've ever used. I do also have a tinted brow product in here. I forgot. I have the Fit Glow tinted brow gel in the darkest shade they do, black brown. Just a little bit, it takes a little bit longer to use. I like this because it's so quick. I can just brush my brows down, brush them up. That's all I need. This is more of a process. I have to wipe the brush off. I have to be more deliberate. It almost tints my brows too dark. But the Fit Glow Clear Brow Gel, I guess, could be another option to the Rye if you really think this is superfluous. I was thinking to maybe declutter this, but you know, I don't know. For now, I'm going to hang on to it because sometimes I do still reach for it if I want a stronger brow. And then after the brow gel sits in my brows for a bit, I then go in and fill in with the Plume pencil in Chestnut Decadence. I've been using this for years. I've tried so many others. I've tried Kimiko. I've tried other natural brands of brow fill-in products, and this has just been my favorite for years, and I keep repurchasing. This is actually a brand new housing, like a brand new pencil. You buy the refills and you just click this part off and on, but over time, if you refill it enough, it just, I don't know, starts to feel kind of loose and the caps don't stay on and stuff. So I think replacing the actual housing every couple of years or however often you want is nice to do. Okay, other eye products. I have 3. Actually, this does not need to be in my everyday makeup bag. I don't really know why it's here. Trish McAvoy Gel Liner in black. Honestly, I never reach for this anymore. I think I am going to hold on to it, but it's a very waterproof, great for tight lining eyeliner. I had used it so many years, but I just find myself only reaching for my Antonym. It's smudgier for sure. It's not as long lasting, but I think I just like that look better now, and I don't have a need for this as much. And then this is my everyday eyeliner that kind of replaced that Kier Weiss brown. Yeah, so this is the shade Mulberry. I love it. I use it almost every single day on the lower lash line. I can use it smudged out all over the lids. I can use it as an upper lash liner. It's just super versatile. Love the formula. Highly recommend. The two mascaras I have are the reformulated Kosas Big Clean. And the reformulation is much, much better than the original for sure. I do still at the end of the day get a bit of transfer, but nowhere near what the original did. I just love the half moon arched shape of the brush. It's quick. It gives me dramatic lashes in like 1 or 2 swipes. But my new obsession, I have to say, is the Kjaer Impossible mascara. I just got this, so I've only been playing around with it for a couple weeks, but there's so much more to say on this. It's incredible. It just takes a little bit longer to use and to build up versus the Kosas. So for now, I'm glad to have both, but I love how flexible your lashes stay with the Kjaer. It's just so good, and I don't get really any transfer. I get a tiny bit of flaking at the end of the day, and that's it. Okay, the rest is lips. Lip liners, Jane Iredale Berry. This is a repurchase, used it for years. Fit Glow red lip liner, which I love. I have to have a red lip liner because I do bold lips quite a lot. And then 2 Kjaer. I have Bare and Flush, which is a fuchsia. So honestly, these 4 cover all of my lip lining needs. I don't have a need for anything else. And then I have the Kjaer lip tint in Goddess. I absolutely love this formula. It is deceptive because it's a much brighter red on the lips, this shade in particular, but I use it a lot, and I want to get more of the lip tint formula. I have Narcissus by Rituel de Fille. I think this is either a lip sheer or a lipstick. I can't quite remember, but I love it. In fact, I'm going to get a repurchase. Such an incredible neutral. I just found it very happenstance in a PR package, and I use it all the time. I mix it with, you know, other pinks and whatnot that I have. And then this is also relatively new, Fit Glow Lip Serum in the shade Buff. This was a recent purchase for me, along with these new powder releases. And I really took a gamble on finding a shade that would work for me. I've not had success picking random shades of this in the past. I've had to throw them away, and they're expensive. So I was reticent, but I could not be happier with Buff. This is 100% the shade for me. I'm actually wearing it over Kjaer Flush Lip Liner. That's what's on my lips right now. It's just really versatile. I can wear it alone. I can wear it with lip liners. I can wear it over lipsticks. It's amazing. So those were my closing thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to go check out Patreon if you'd like to see the brush declutter. I think I'm also gonna wash everything, and it'll be very satisfying, I hope, to see the brushes go from all pigmented and used to being all lined up and clean and edited. There's definitely some things I need to get away. This is mostly Wayne Gloss, Surratt brushes, which I adore, Haku Hodo, Gressa, and then some other little odds and ends. I got some new Kjaer brushes recently. And then I'll find a way to tackle the makeup empties that were here before we piled on with more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please say hi in the comments if you feel so inclined. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss my new videos, which are now kind of on a monthly basis, but we'll see if I can try and kick that up a notch. All right, guys, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.